Hey folks, and welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, my screen looks a little bit strange. It's just a black screen with some writing on it. You're going to see everything going offline briefly. This is simply just no validator has signed the block that has been proposed yet. It gets signed, everybody goes active again, but we can see one node which is consistently off in an offline state, and that's Lunarpunks. They're obviously struggling with the update in itself. This doesn't even draw an accurate picture of how bad this update was, and I intend to draw that picture as best I can from my own perspective with the information I've obtained. Everything is simply my own opinion going forward. So as you can see on the screen, we have got 94 of 95 validators active. Prior to the update, we were at about 110, 111 on as an active set. That's gone down by about 16. That's a very, very strong sign that things didn't go how they should have gone down. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to flick you off of my Debian client, and we are now going to go over to the main section, which is going through all of the different stuff I've got together for this video. Now we can see that the L1 team lead has made a very substantial claim that it was more or less a very successful update. I am not sold on this. A lot of people are just simply saying, you know, you're never happy with anything HCC. It's never positive, and it's just this is what we have available to report on currently. There is nothing being built. A lot of people ask what's next, and it's just simply pay these people again, wait another 3 months, and get another update like this, which will keep whittling down the active set. So if we go over to, and there's so many different sort of places that you can go to. This is like a one-stop shop for me. We can see that a lot of validators are missing blocks. Okay, this is just a sign that things aren't going right, because when you have a node, you have two systems and you've got to maintain both of those systems, and they've got to work in a symbiotic relationship. You've got to obtain the correct information from the correct nodes, and a lot of people are having a lot of different issues, and this can simply come down to the most stupidest things. If you're running a system and you've got 32 gigabytes available on each system, right, that's not enough. All right, it might be enough, but not always. So the best bet is 64 gigabytes. Now, 64 gigabytes during this whole upgrade wasn't always enough, as you've heard from people like Straff Cole. It simply was not enough. So when everything hit the fan and everybody started panicking, where did everybody go to get this fixed? All nodes. All nodes had to step in. All nodes had to help out the L1 and get everything sorted. There was a memory leak. There were all sorts of issues, right? And like I said, this is whittled down the active set. So if we look here, this is a list of all the inactive nodes currently, and there's nodes that have got substantial amounts of LUNC delegated with them. Some of them even, you know, as you can see, it's a serious amount, and these nodes are completely inactive. A lot of them are jailed and nothing happens. And it's a sign that the system's just not working at the capacity that it should just work at as standard. You know, the jailing, the slashing, this is all not happening fast enough. Okay, Classy shut down ages ago. It shouldn't be like this. There should be punishments, and you know, we should have a very clean system going forward. But ultimately, inside all of these inactive and jailed nodes are 16 of them, which were in the active set. They were active. They were running up-to-date software, and everything was T's crossed, I's dotted, and the works. But now it's not like that. And there's a lot of factions in Terra Classic, and not everybody gets the memo. There wasn't any material other than what I know to be a Discord group where you could go and get help. A lot of people are part of this faction system, and they simply don't get that memo. It doesn't reach those people because the people that would normally pass that on simply don't like that person. I'm one of these people. I suffer from this greatly, where people just ignore me, don't involve me in anything, and don't want me to be there. I get it, but at the same time, these upgrades are so important, and it's so important for you as a community to understand that this is not okay, and it hasn't been a successful upgrade. The active set shouldn't be down to 95, and I said this previously, as these updates roll out, as time goes on, There's no profit to be made in LUNC. There's nobody's building anything. There's nothing on the horizon. There's no funding to get anything else done other than just keep the lights on. And we're losing people step by step. And this is the reality of what we are in right now. And, you know, with the repeg, with everything, like everybody's been sold this idea that there's going to be a repeg within the next 2 to 3 weeks. I still see people talking about it. It's like, that's not happening. Like, it's just not happening. It's impossible. Even with the reverse split thing, even if they were to do it in a different manner as to which it starts minting more coins, which is an even bigger no than a reverse split, you know, you could possibly hypermint another 9 trillion coins and then we're done for. Right? Everybody knows once those coins go out into supply, it's done. If it was that simple to do a reverse split and everything be hanky-dory, why hasn't SHIB done a reverse split 50, 60 times? Why haven't all of these other coins, like, you know, Doge, and why have they simply just gone, oh, let's do a reverse split? It will send everything to the moon. Because it doesn't work like that. You can't just remove a load of liquidity, a load of coins and go, oh, now everything's going to be worth more. It doesn't work like that. And being sold this idea of it working like that, you need to go and do your own research in these sort of situations, because like I was saying, it's not rocket science to go and look at all of the different metric sites, have a look around and see that things aren't going good. Okay, even with these just being merely Oracle votes, it still shows that things aren't working at the capacity they should work at as standard. Our active set should be booming. There should be people fighting to get into the active set, but it's just not happening. Nobody is willing to commit to this chain. Something I find very funny is the amount of people that are supposedly L1 or L2 developers. They spend all their time, all day, every day, barking, saying all sorts of different things and cursing out the system and saying how broke it is. Yet they have the ability to go on a computer and change things. Like, it's insane that the amount of time people spend there where they could just simply put some time in, get involved and contribute a little, and maybe the system would grow more. Maybe we would see a situation where we start to do a 1, 2, 3, 4, 13x again. All of us, I think, I could speak for everybody when I say who would not want to see a 13x. We all would. We want to see a 50x, a 1000x. That's what we want to see. But the issue is, it's not going to happen with the active set dropping every 3 months, poor updates, money just literally going towards an update once every 3 months that leads to this. Leads to absolute chaos. We're a chain that doesn't own our own legs. We literally rent our legs for walking from a company that has control over them at all times. No, like I said, nobody has built for the system. Everybody's built for the eventuality that LUNC collapses. And then each one of these systems can then go on and become, I don't know, for instance, DF Luna or, you know, Lunar Moon Station. Or, you know, I'm just picking ones out of the bag that's simply on my screen. But, you know, you can see where this is coming from. Our lead developers are totally committed to other chains. It's just, none of it makes any sense. It should be a standard that any developers that are paid to work on this chain sign a favored nations contract. If you don't know what that is, I'm going to bastardize it here and I'm probably going to butcher it, but ultimately it just means that you're working for the LUNC network, for this blockchain. You can't go off and develop on another chain, or it's something that a company like Tesla would probably make you sign depending on what position you're in. You know, any company that doesn't want you to be putting in time in their company to be then going using what you've learned there, somewhere else. It just doesn't work like that. You wouldn't, like, it's crazy. I don't know what professions that's okay to actually walk that route. And we're in a state where we pay these developers before they've done anything. Like, we have no legs to stand on if the updates aren't going, because ultimately, right, if we're on a pay per milestone system, we could say right now, you're not getting paid until, you know, this is all solved and all of the validators that were online are back online, because right now they're sat, they've got their legs crossed, they've got their hands crossed, and they're thinking to themselves, right, we've secured our next month's payment, 422 likes, a lot of retweets on that. And it's just like, I get it. like you all want the positive information all the time, all day, every day, but this isn't getting us anywhere. Like I could just post videos all day, every day being like, yeah, this is all really good. Yeah, this is really great. And oh, they're amazing. But we're past that point of acting like things are okay. It's not okay to walk this path. It's not okay for our lead developers to just completely not acknowledge anyone other than the privatized sector teams that are paid. And it's like anyone outside of that is totally irrelevant and it doesn't matter. I don't ever want to be in the situation where we've got to go 3 months again before we can hold any of these people accountable. Hopefully the validators are going to start to realize and start to pick up on it. But the biggest problem is a lot of them just don't care. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to bring attention to themselves and they don't want to put their necks on the line. You know, people are so happy to get a podcast with these people. I mean, I would not ever give anyone on any of these paid teams a podcast at this point, because honestly, they're not abiding by, you know, the most basic thing, our most basic necessity, which is governance. We're nothing without governance. And this whole idea of it being not law and then spend proposals being law, and they make it up as they go along. They bend the rules how they see fit and they do it to best suit their pursuit for their campaigns as to where they're going. Now, like I said, once the system dies, it's not paying out anymore. They'll be gone. They're people that are just here for a paycheck, but it's even worse because they're people who want to secure that paycheck by any means, do as little as possible, and fool the community into thinking that, you know, it's been a successful update and things have gone really well. And it's appalling, to say the least, that the active set has gone down by 16. You know, there's 16 validators that are still struggling to get back online. And I know I was saying about jailing at the beginning of this, but a lot of these nodes have been in this state for ages, and it's just the punishments aren't severe enough for people to react. It's one of those ones where we need to keep looking at the evidence that's presented in front of us and keep utilizing it and acting on it, and not simply seeing the red flags at the beach saying don't swim in the water because there's sharks, and then going for a swim and be like, you know, they're just red flags, don't worry about them. And then being confused as to why you've got a tiger shark hanging off of your right leg. Like, what's going on? Oh, there was red flags, I didn't listen. We've walked this path so many times as a community, and I believe now keeping on top of this and keep addressing these real obvious things which provide evidence. It provides a view for the community to actually look into something and go, hey, look, there's evidence to back this up. It's not just hearsay. It's not just someone's point of view. There's actual evidence to back it up. Folks, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. Live stream coming later today, talking with TFL on Twitter or an X space. We're going to be getting into that. And yeah, just try and turn up if you can. Other than that, folks, I'll catch you in the next one.